This is Batman and Superman #2 by Jeph Loeb and Ed McGuinness, and this is bloomin' weak as sin. Very pathetic little book. It's got good art, very good art, but a crap plot and very crappy writing. And I even hate the book's name. It should be Batman and Superman, not Superman and Batman. Alphabetical. Or better yet, just call it World's Finest like they used to do. Batman and Superman, they have been buried alive by Metallica, and Superman, he got shot in the heart, and he's to blame, and summit, he gives love a bad name. Batman, he is still shit, he's written awful, and there's a bit I fucking despise with the very fibre of my being later on. But Batman, he gets knocked out, and Superman, who still has a fucking cryptonian bullet in him, Superman has to save Batman. Batman is written so bad, like, I really hate it. Everything he says is undercut and one-up by Superman. Anything he does is unsuccessful. He tried to perform surgery to remove the cryptonian bullet from Superman's heart, but he didn't manage to, and instead they got buried alive by Metallica. And just like in the first issue, now that Metallica is out of sight, he's also out of mind. The plot just forgets about him. And again, Superman, he has got to save the day, even though he has got his major weakness that is meant to drain him of his stamina and strength. He has got a bullet of that lodged in his fucking heart. Well, he can still withstand an electric fence. They gone to the Batman cave so that Jarvis, the butler, he can perform the surgery that Batman couldn't do. Meanwhile, the more intriguing plot line with a cryptonian asteroid heading towards Earth, an evil President Lenny Luthor's, the bald Donald Trump, him and his little cuckold soldier boy, Captain Ataman. They try to blow the asteroid up with missiles and it doesn't work. I'm surprised to see someone other than Batman fail in this comic. Jarvis, straight away, he has gotten the bullet out of Superman. And this is the bit I hate on this page. I hate it so much. I almost want to destroy the comic just on the basis of this line, but I kind of feel like that would be like against my very rigid and strict rules about comic book destruction. Superman is in a monologue. His thoughts are about Batman and Jarvis, and he thinks they are not exactly friends. Bruce makes it clear that Jarvis works for him. Just fuck right off. That is a terrible reading of Batman and Jarvis's relationship. It's outrageously wrong, and again, only makes the book present reasons that Batman is crap and Superman is better than him. I mean, Superman, he is better than Batman, but Batman, he isn't the complete piece of worthless shit that Jeph Loeb is insisting that he is in this story. And I didn't even think this was intentional. He wasn't trying to make Batman out to be a useless buffoon and a total wanker. I mean, he's suddenly an angry prickhead to Superman here. Jeph Loeb, he probably thought he was doing some clever juxtaposition between these two very different superheroes, but he is lacking in so much writing skill that he has come out as depicting Superman as flawless and Batman as flawful. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word. It should be. Full of flaws. Flawful. Also, it could be a portmanteau of flaw and awful. Flawful. Coined by Son of Nimrod 2020. Good evidence of how badly this comic feels is we have got a Superman from the future. And you know me, I fucking love Golden Age Superman or like Hardman Superman like this, and you would think that I would be all out of this, and it is great to see a splash page of my type of Superman by a great artist like Ed McGuinness does, but then this Superman, he is evil apparently, and he starts fighting the real Superman as Batman just does naught and watches. I could get into this, but this is complete nonsense from a writing perspective. This has nothing to do with the plot that they have set up or built. There has been no hint before this of any relevance of a future version of Superman. There has been no reason presented or even suggested why this evil Superman has shown up now, and he has nothing to do with anything. It's over very quickly and by the issue's end, and this is set up to do summit, but it has fuck all to do with any of the rest of the issue. Superman, casually, he gets thrown through Batman's displays to his two fallen proteges. That's how mean-spirited this is towards Batman. 2 tributes to a dead child and a disabled friend. They are just passingly destroyed in the middle of a senseless fight. There's no reference to this. Batman doesn't get upset or angry about it. He apparently doesn't care. The same way Jeph Loeb clearly doesn't care about Batman. Reading this, I'm starting to think that maybe it was Batman who killed Jeph Loeb's son and not child cancer. Batman, he just gets twatted away with one punch from evil future Superman. And now evil future Superman, he's going to drop a Batman mobile on Batman. And it's up to Superman to save the day by shooting the evil future Superman with the same cryptonian bullet from the start. But then before it hits him, future Superman just fades away. This entire sequence is accomplishing nothing. It's not affecting any ongoing plot or character. It's like a non sequitur. It exists just to pad pages. Jeph Loeb, he writes short scripts. It's just there for Jeph Loeb to call back to in like 6 issues time or whatever and pretend that he has like some overall idea and direction for this book or a fucking clue about long-term plotting. And while we're shitting on Batman for most of the pages, we also shit on Captain Ataman in the subplot pages. He is reduced to being a lackey to a man who is clearly acting like a villain, and fucking shit, I forgot this completely. If you think I am being unfair to Jeph Loeb and that Jeph Loeb is a good writer or a good plotter, this is fucking honestly the worst fucking story progression ever. Out of nowhere, without providing any evidence or even reason, President Lenny Luthor, he announces to the world that that big asteroid is coming to Earth, and that since it comes from Superman's own planet, then it must be heading towards Earth because Superman is on Earth. And then the people, the general public, everyone in the world, they just accept this fucking stupid logic that Jeph Loeb just uses because he hasn't bothered to write an actual plot or a reason for Superman to suddenly become a public enemy. And this is another comic that I think deserves destroying. We've got good art though, that's the quandary. Let's think about this. Most of the stuff I have destroyed has had at best average art. I don't think anything has had like Jorge Pere on Avengers, I suppose. Though I do think that is some of his least inspired and most phoned in work. I don't think I've ever torn up any art that I think is really good, have I? Like, by itself, the art here is very good, but the writing and the plotting, it's just... No way. There was the Joshua Whedonson Excellent Men issue. I tore that up, and that art was as good as they are in this. So I am sorry about this, Ed McGuinness. Your drawing is really great, but Jeph Loeb, he drags your work down. Actually, it's a bit like when I did group work at university. I was on track for a first, and then I had to do a module that was group work. And I wound up with a shit group of slackers, and they dragged me down to a 2-1. Because you cannot pull the dead weight of 3 people on a project that requires more than 1 person. So, Ed McGuinness, give and beat yourself up about this. The same thing happened to me at uni. Maybe we should team up and get back at these pricks who take our hard work and our effort and our commitment and screw us over. Actually, Ed, since we are on first name basis now that I have torn up your great art, Ed, me old mate, you'd actually be a great artist for my brilliant run on Captain America. If you can keep up with a monthly schedule, and I don't have to have a fill-in artist every 4 issues, I want you to come aboard what will be the best Captain America run of the last decade. Mainly because Captain America has not had a good run in the last decade. But to round this off, Batman and Superman 2 was really bad, and it was really hard to tear up. And if you think me tearing it up was like a crime of passion down to a bad emotional response, there was that shit line about Batman not being friends with Jarvis. There was that entire scene with future evil Superman. And then that shit with Lenny Luthor's swaying public opinion with complete illogical nonsense. Combine those all together, and I'll rate this 7 thumbs up.